It's a Monday. It's coffee break time. I'm showing you the love. I'm sending it to you through the power of the interwebs. Got a great question I want to share with you. And this comes from Mike Lowry, who says, can you suggest the minimum number of experience in months suitable, acceptable before leaving the first job as a software developer and moving to the second job? Well, hey, thanks for the question, Mr. Lowry. And first off, I'm going to begin with this statement. You need to think Me Incorporated, or Me Inc. as I call it. Things have really changed in the last few decades as far as people moving their career along. Used to be a time when if you changed jobs fairly regularly, fairly briefly, you were known as what was called a job hopper. Those were looked down upon. But as the Bob Dylan song says, these times they are a-changin'. And there's some positives to changing jobs more frequently, which we're going to discuss in just a moment. There's basically two types of career moves. The one I call strategic and the other I call lateral. One is generally much better than the other, and we're going to discuss that in just a moment. So what are some examples of a strategic career move? Well, for example, you may be a high performer and not really getting noticed at your current job. That could make you an asset to another employer. Hey, you're also easier to recruit. Perhaps a really amazing opportunity came up and you'd be crazy not to take it. You'd want to take advantage of that. As an employer, there's certain types of career moves I don't like to see, and those are called lateral career moves. I know what you're thinking. Bruce, what is an example of a lateral career move? No insult intended for those that work in the fast food industry, but let's say I'm flipping hamburgers today at McDonald's. Next month I'm at Hardee's. The month after that I'm at Wendy's. I'm still doing the same job for the same amount of pay. Basically, I've not improved my situation. That is a lateral career move. So why are lateral career moves a bad thing? Well, it could show signs that there's a problem with your ability to handle your profession, or maybe some type of issue in your personal life and home that keeps you moving from job to job to job. You might not be a high performer, you might be kind of more of a middle of the road or even at the bottom of your profession. I might be afraid as an employer, you'll quit on us too without a really good reason. Hey, here's a fun fact. Most people that quit their jobs, about 70%, actually are quitting their boss and not the job. Something to keep in mind. Here's a story from my past. At one time, I had a job with a company called American Fletcher Financial Services. They were a loan company. Loan companies were the way people borrowed money before everybody had a credit card. There were hundreds and hundreds of such companies all through America. Now, I worked at a small branch in a very small town, and it was almost like a retirement home for me. It was just so easy to do that job. But I did a great job there, and the company noticed. So they offered me a promotion to a branch in Fort Wayne, Indiana, about 100 miles from where I lived. However, they wouldn't pay to relocate my family, and it meant that my wife at the time had to quit her job and relocate me, or we would have to live separately from one another. And the pay increase made no sense. I would actually lose money. It was time for a lateral job move, or a career move, if you will. Ended up taking a job with another finance company, not too far from home. It was still quite a drive, but my wife was able to continue her job that she couldn't relocate for, and all turned out well. In that case, it was a lateral career move, but it was a smart move as I felt I didn't have any real choice in the matter. So, Mike, there's no hard and fast rule to doing a career move, changing one company to another, provided the reasons are solid. However, if it's the lateral type move, consider the reasons why you're doing it. It may be a very valid reason. However, as an employer, typically I don't like to see people changing jobs more than maybe once every year or so. Then I get that job hopping feeling from you that you might not work out with us either. It's something to keep in mind. Thank you for a great question, and tune in tomorrow for another installment of Coffee Break. Take care, everybody.